everybody. Good morning, and I hope you all are feeling well. I hope you are feeling fine and you're happy to start the new day. Okay, so now let's begin. Remember, in last class, we learned something about something called non fiction. Thumbs up if you remember. Okay, now I'm going to ask you a few questions and you're going to do the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Okay, so non fiction is real. Good job. Non-fiction is something like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. No. Non-fiction is like my math book. Good job. Good job, everybody. Non-fiction is when it is not made up. Good job. Non-fiction is a story. No. Good job. So today we are going to see how a non-fiction text looks. Now text is, I'm using the word text because we cannot say story. The minute I say story, it means it's made up. So this is a non-fiction text. Okay, so we are going to see, it is in your English book. Okay, and I'm going to show you how it looks and then I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. Okay, everybody? So let's begin. We are learning to identify. You all know what's identify, right? So you're going to look, or you're going to recognize, or you're going to find out parts of a non-fiction text. Okay, so just like you know the parts of the bird and the parts of the fish, the same way we are going to find out what are the parts of a non-fiction text. Like your story has parts, right? When we did fiction and we did the story, it had three parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end, right? So in the same way, even non-fiction texts have parts, okay? Not the beginning, middle, and end. They have different parts. So we are going to find out what those parts are, okay? Okay, so this is the lesson that's in your book. And does anyone know what we're looking at first? What's the most important thing when you get a book in your hand and the first thing that you read? It is the title. And this is the front cover. Can you see this picture here of this fox running? That's the cover of the real book. So we don't have the real book with us. This is just a picture of the real book. Now, our title for today is written in black. Can you see it? Yeah, I have circled it right now. Can you read it for me? Good job. All about foxes. That's our title for today. But that's our title, right? But we have a title on the book. Can someone read that for us? It starts with meet. Meet the fox. So that's our next title. So one is the title that we are looking at. That's the title of what we are doing in our English book. And the other one is the title on the real book. That's the picture of the real book, right? So that's the picture. That's the title of the real book. So we have two titles. The main important title is All About Foxes. And the title of the book that we are going to be learning more about is Meet the Fox. Now I'm going to circle something else and you're going to guess what that is. Okay. So for now, the first part of a non-fiction book or non-fiction text is the title. Okay. It's the same like a storybook. Both have a title. So that's the same thing. A non-fiction also has a title and a fiction also has a title. The next thing, I circled something now. It says Sam Tap. Do you know what that means? Who's Sam? Who must be Sam? His name's on the book. What do you think Sam did? He wrote the book. He wrote not the story. He wrote the non-fiction text and he is the author. Okay, he's written it, so he's called an author. So the title is All About Foxes and the title of the book is Meet the Fox and the author is Sam Tapp. So these are the two same parts like fiction. Okay, so when we do a story, we have the title and the author. Even when it's a non-fiction text, we have a title and an author. Okay. Now in the next slide, we are going to learn some different parts about a non-fiction. Okay. So this is the next page in your English book. Okay. And the first thing that I'm going to circle here is the very first line on the book. Okay. It says, "Where do foxes live?" Now, when I read that, is it a title? No, right? We already read the title. But the minute I say, "Where do foxes live?" that means when I read the rest of the page, will it be about the places where a fox lives or what a fox eats? When we read, "Where do foxes live?" is it going to be about their homes or is it going to be about their food? Okay, hands up if you say homes. Good job. And it is about where they live. So this is called a caption. What is it called? It's called a caption. It's like a title, but it is not a title because we already had a title. This is a title, like a title that tells us something more. Okay, so it's called a caption. What is it called? Can you say it in your softest voice? Caption. Can you say it in your loudest voice? Can you say it in a fast voice? Caption. Can you say it? We are going to say it in a stretchy snake voice, okay? Caption. Good job. So it's a caption and it tells us a little more. So I'm going to read the next part, okay? So where do foxes live? That's our caption. Foxes live in many places around the world. Okay, so they said that where do foxes live? They live in many places around the world. Now I'm reading the next page. Many foxes live in the countryside. Some foxes now live in towns and cities. So the caption was, "Where do foxes live?" So did they tell us where foxes live or what they eat? They told us where foxes live. They said they live all over the world. They live in the countryside, they live in the towns, they live in the cities. So a caption is just a short, like a title. Okay. Now I'm going to circle something else and we are going to see what it is. Okay. So there's a picture and they've said Bengal fox. That's the name of the kind of fox. Then they've said a red fox and then the white one is the Arctic fox. So are these titles of the non-fiction text? No. Are they authors? Is it a caption? Is it going to tell us something more? No. You remember when you when you draw in your books, okay, when you're drawing something and your teacher says, "I want you to write what it is because I will not know what you've drawn." She tells you to write the word below it and it's called something. She says, can you dash the picture? Can you label the picture? So now they've given us three pictures, and if they wouldn't write what the picture is, then we wouldn't know the name of that fox, right? So these are called labels. What are they called? Labels. You have been doing it in school too. The moment say for example, you draw a hat. You write this word hat next to it, right? So we know you've drawn a hat. The same way, next to the picture, we have the name of the fox or the label, which allows us to know what the picture is about. So when I read Arctic fox, I know that that white fox there is called an Arctic fox. If I read red fox, I know the fox next to it is called a red fox. So those are labels. Okay, so like the Bengal fox, the red fox, and the Arctic fox, these are all labels. So let's see who remembers. Okay, the first part of non-fictional text is the most important part on the top, on the cover. It's the name of it's called the title. The second part is the person who has written it. Who's that? What is he called? Author. Very good. The third is the part that is like a title, it tells us more. It's something you wear on your head. It's like half of that. Caption. Very good. The fourth one is those tiny little things that you do after you draw the words that you put so that we know what you've drawn. Labels. It has a lot of labels. Okay. So we have the title, the author, captions, and labels. Okay. The next, let's go and see what's next. Okay, so now the next page, can you see that fox there? Yeah. The first line on the page is, what do foxes look like? Is it going to tell us about how a fox looks? Yes, that page is going to tell us how a fox looks. So what do you think that is called? Is it a title? Is it the author? What do foxes look like? Is it the author? Is it a label? What is it? It's a caption. That is a caption. It's telling us more about, it's going to tell us something more on that page, right? So the minute I read the caption, what do foxes look like? I know that they're going to tell me what a fox looks like. Okay, so if you look at the page, they're telling you a fox is an animal that has whiskers. Okay. Oh, there's another caption. It got circled right now. What do foxes eat? So this page, what do foxes look like, is going to tell me all about how a fox looks. And this page, what do foxes eat? What do you think? It's going to tell me all about what a fox eats. So these two are called captions. They are just like tiny titles that are going to tell me something more on that page. Okay. Now, labels. What are the labels here? Can you point out to some of them? They've labeled the fox. Whiskers. What's the next part? Neck, fur, bushy tail, pointed nose. Okay, so these are the labels. Okay, they are the parts of the fox and they are also called labels. Okay, everybody. Now we know four parts, right? The title, the author, captions, and labels. Now there's another thing that's very important about this non-fiction text. Okay, so when I say that a fox, look at the picture carefully. Okay, a fox has whiskers, neck, fur, a pointed nose, and a bushy tail. How many of you think this is true? It's real. Is it real? Does a fox really have fur? Good job. Does a fox really have a neck? Yes. Does a fox have whiskers? Yes. Does a fox have a bushy tail? Yes. Does a fox have pointed nose? Yes. What do foxes eat? I'm reading the next page, okay? Page number 7. Pay attention. This fox is eating an insect. This fox is eating some fruit. Now I'm reading the lines below. Foxes are hunters. They hunt small animals, birds, and insects. Foxes sometimes eat fruits. Now you tell me, is this a story or is this real? It's not a story, it is real. They're really telling you that foxes are hunters. They really hunt small animals and birds and insects. So these sentences are real. Okay. The foxes are really hunters. They're really hunting animals. They really hunt for small animals. So because they do all of that and because these are real sentences, something that is real is also called a fact. What is it called? Fact. Okay, so if I say that I am a teacher, that's a fact. It's real. If I say you are learning right now, that is a fact. It is real. But if I say, yesterday I went into this rainbow and I reached a magical kingdom, and after that I met a beautiful princess and she was riding a unicorn, is that fact? Is that real? No, it's a story. But if something is real, okay, it's a fact. Okay, everybody? So now let's see if we can remember all the parts of a non-fiction text. Okay. The first is the title. Can you say it with me? The first is the title. Second is the person who writes it. He's called an author. Very good. The third is they are like tiny titles at the top which tell us more. It's a caption. Very good. Caption. Say it together. Caption. The fourth A are the small tiny things that tell us more about a picture. Labels. Good job. Say labels, everybody. Good job. And the last one are real sentences or real things that are stated in the book. They're called facts. So a non-fiction will have facts. Will a story have facts? No. It's just made up, right? Now we are done here, okay? You need to know the parts of a non-fiction text. There are 5 parts. But now what you're going to do is you're going to open to this lesson in your Nelson, your pupil book 1, and you're going to open to the title All About Foxes, and you are going to read it, okay, either on your own or with your parent, and you're going to look for the captions like this. You can circle them if you want. You can circle the labels like Miss Candice if you want, and you can show your parents, point out and show them where are the labels, point and show them where is the title, point and show them where's the author, point and show them which is the caption and the facts. So you're going to point out because you're going to identify the parts and you're going to show it to them. And once you are done, there is a fun task where you are going to take a newspaper or any old magazine, because they are not storybooks, right? They're real, they're non-fictions. You're going to search for a newspaper or a magazine and you're going to find the different parts of the non-fiction even on a newspaper. A newspaper has a lot of captions and a lot of labels. So you're going to look for it. Okay. So that's your task for today. And before I leave, I want to tell you that please have a safe day, have a healthy day, eat your food well, and play a little. You can paint if you like, and have a lot of fun with your family back home. I will see you soon. Okay, bye. Have a nice day, everybody.